What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
So some pictures surfaced recently of Luka Doncic. And people are like, oh, look, Luka has lost a lot of weight. Oh, Luka's in shape now. Oh, look out. Here comes Luka. Lost that weight, in shape. You know, I don't know. Been fasting, been on keto, start doing more cardio, maybe all of the above, whatever. I do not care. I don't. That doesn't make me happy. That doesn't make me rejoice. That doesn't make me think things are going to change for Luka or the Los Angeles Lakers. I think, to me, people are associating his size, his weight, his body shape with his inability to play defense. In my personal opinion, that doesn't have a lot to do with his defensive woes. Luka not playing defense is Luka not wanting to play defense. Luka has no interest in playing defense. He will not assert himself defensively. That has nothing to do with his body size or athletic ability. Nothing. So people thinking things are just going to change because he lost weight and he's going to start playing defense now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. There has to be an effort to play defense. There has to be a wantingness to play defense. What I've seen Luka do in the past, just letting guys blow by him, no effort at all, that doesn't have to do with which kind of shape he's in. There's no effort there. There's no intention to even try to defend. So no, I'm not rejoicing about his new body until Luka shows a wantingness to play D. And the few times he does try to play defense, he gambles too much. Because he doesn't want to put in a strong defensive effort from beginning to end. He'll start to gamble to try to quickly poke the ball loose or get the ball going to push the offense. And then once he gambles and he loses on the gamble, he doesn't get back into the play. He doesn't get back into defense. He'll just stand there and watch. That has nothing to do with what kind of shape he's in. So y'all can miss me with that. Y'all can miss me with that. There's been players that have been more out of shape, more heftier, bigger than Luka, that have been better defensive players than him. Big Baby Davis. Big Baby Davis. You know how big Baby was? Big Baby Davis was a better defensive player than Luka. And Luka's in way better shape than Big Baby Davis was. Now, Big Baby had a lot more muscle than Luka. Make no mistake about it. But there did come a time where Big Baby Davis's muscle to body fat ratio wasn't looking too hot. He was a big boy. I've always compared Luka Doncic's body type to Paul Pierce when Paul Pierce got a little bit heftier. He always reminded me of a Paul Pierce body. And they kind of play similar offensively. A little bit. How they use their rump. How they use their body to get into their spots and take advantage of their size to get the shot they want. He's always reminded me of Paul Pierce. And Paul Pierce wasn't a liability on defense. He wasn't a great defender, but he was adequate enough. And he had a very similar body to Luka. Paul Pierce didn't have lift like that once he got a little bit heftier. Now, Paul Pierce has dunked on some people. Don't get me wrong. He has. But he wasn't jumping out the gym like Kobe was. And one reason I wasn't as mad and upset when Luka wasn't playing defense is because when we got him, I knew what to expect. I knew the Luka Doncic package. People was acting all surprised that he wasn't playing defense. And a lot of those was LeBron people because they felt like that was an opportunity to scapegoat Luka and blame him because LeBron didn't advance. A lot of that was LeBron people too. But I knew what to expect. You get Luka, you're not getting defense. Oh, boo, you're just letting him off the hook. You're not being harsh on him. No. I know what to expect from him, so I'm not going to get upset or angry because this is what comes with the Luka Doncic party pack. So, if he does end up playing defense, that would be incredible, amazing. But it's not like I'm giving him a pass for it. That's a knock against him as a player. That's a slight against his player profile. And because he doesn't play defense, I'm not going to rank him up there with Giannis. I'm not going to rank him ahead of Joker. He's behind those two. And Joker's not a great defensive player, but he's better than Luka. So because of the fact that he's a complete liability, Luka Doncic could never be the best player on the planet, in my opinion. Even with what he brings offensively and shot creation and play creation and all that stuff. He's such a bad defensive player, he will never be the best player in the league to me until that changes. So it's not like I'm letting him off easy. That is a knock against him. The same reason I never considered Steph Curry the best player in the league at any point in his career. Whether he won a championship or not, whether he got an MVP or not, he was never the best player in the league to me. Because he was such a liability defensively for the majority of his career. You got to be at least adequate, serviceable, but you can't be a liability. And bless Steph Curry because he actually tries somewhat. Unlike Luka. Luka doesn't even try. He's lazy. That's mentality. That's not slow foot speed. That's not being a little bit chunkier. That's mentality. Mentality. Now, sure, he loses some weight. He might be a half step faster. But it's not going to make a difference if you don't want to play defense. At all. Because there's a lot of athletic people in the NBA that don't play defense either. We don't use that excuse. They're out of shape. They just don't want to play defense or care to play defense. So I don't want to hear all that. I don't. When the season starts, whether he's in better shape or he comes in the same shape as he was, we'll see if he starts to consistently assert himself on defense. The first game of the season, I expect him to dig in defensively. Everybody's going to be like the broadcasters. Oh, look at Luka. This is a new Luka. You know, look at him playing D. Give it a couple games. We'll see if he goes right back into the trend that he's been in his entire career. I expect him to come out with defensive intensity, especially the first game and maybe the second or third or fourth. But once the games start to become routine again and the season wanes on, I wouldn't be surprised if he drops right back into the old Luka Doncic we always knew. They always come out energized in the beginning of the season. If anything, the weight issue, him losing weight, might help with his injuries. If anything. If his body condition had something to do with his injuries in the past. But it can't hurt the situation. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Appreciate y'all for stepping in. Sound off in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.